is kick ass though. Like, oh my god, it
Yeah, the
felt
bigger
like
the city you get, the more people from like other countries you get in there, and then they all bring their food, and you have like a pretty good combination.
like just like the food diversity in St. Louis is literally piss poor compared to like where I was living in
I
like
mean,
Kansas
yeah, I
and
mean
then
it's
like
just because there's
the
not very many
suburbs of
people. I mean, it's all
Chicago.
just I'd like to probably
I
live
know.
somewhere more southern. But hey, in a couple of years, maybe Missouri will be close to the coast, so
Dude, it's gonna be
drive
you're
down to the
gonna have a
Panhandle.
beachfront property in like 10 years, bro.
I
The
mean,
Like
Osage.
you're gonna like you're gonna be like walking distance from the new water line.
shit, I'll
But
get a boat. Draw the boat.
uh, he's I don't know, he's like from like New Zealand or something like that, I think.
Yeah,
But
probably
he got kicked
sucks.
from complexity. Yeah, oh yeah, obviously he just won a major and like was
It's
smurfing.
fine.
Yeah.
I'd probably beat him in a
Dude,
Wonderland. Catch me on
you probably
Inferno.
could. Yeah. Bro, he doesn't know. He doesn't know.
Bro, I just dropped a 40 bomb in our Inferno game. Catch me.
Bro, that's
Really?
nuts.
Yeah, we were popping off.
That's
Well, I
fucking
was
sick.
popping off.
That's
We,
sick.
we
You were
won
popping off,
16,
Carrie.
13. Yeah, it was very close.
Oh,
No,
so it was a close game, even though you had 40.
yeah, exactly. I just go. We just
Yeah,
just
man.
send it.
Yeah, man.
All right,
Dude,
everybody.
yeah,
Hello,
dude,
welcome
yeah,
to
yeah,
1 to 10
dude.
podcast. You are sitting here with the flock of fools, the absolute bunch of ghouls, Durs, Fleeb, and Phil. What's popping, everybody? How
What's
we doing?
good? I'm good, man.
Yeah,
How are you, man?
That was fucking fuego, dude.
That was
Hey, you
hot.
said send it.
That
I was
was-
mixing up
that
some,
was
some,
good.
some spicy rhymes
Dude,
to
I
lead
love
us in
that.
with.
Damn, that
I
was
love
that was
Ready?
that was cold, dude. I like that.
All right. Yeah,
Oh, shit.
man, so hot, man's having to take a sip of water. By the way, everyone there at home,
Dude,
stay
that's why
hydrated.
Oh,
Cheers
man.
to that.
stay
Yeah,
hydrated.
hydration
And
check,
no free
brothers.
sponsors either.
Yeah, big water.
But here
big water.
to
Please
lead us
sponsor
in, we can talk about the St. Louis Cardinals that are now actually playing baseball because baseball decided to actually be a sport again. So here we are.
Are they having crowds?
Everybody hasn't
What,
heard,
they only
MLB
dropped
is
like
back.
what, 2 rules?
Yeah, they're changing
Rejoice,
3
everybody.
rules for 2023, but as of this season, MLB is just normal.
So
Nobody
is
watches
there
baseball,
people in the
but-
crowd?
Rejoice, everybody.
Yes, there's always been
fans?
people in the crowd.
Watching paint dry, the sport is back.
You can still drink your very overpriced beer in the stadiums and not look at the game because it's mostly boring.
You can go to a Thursday game. At
But they
2
did.
o'clock
They did.
in
Pitchers are
80
no
degree
longer
heat,
hit.
and
Pitchers. Yeah, and it just 99
pitchers
in
no
St.
longer
Louis
hit?
time. Pitchers don't
Wait,
hit anymore.
pitchers
DH
no
is in the
longer-
National League. I like it. No, it's good. Pitchers never even trained to hit anymore, and they're so bad at it. I'm kind of
much like Eric Andre, I don't give a
they
shit
get
about
injured
baseball.
hitting all the time.
I'm gonna be real, but the Cardinals are a very tight franchise, and I think they are one of the things when I look at a brand or when I look at an organization, they really embody a lot of strong things that I really resonate with. Strong merchandising, solid brand recognition within local area. Their outreach is impressive to me because I know a lot of people who live on the Illinois-Missouri like cusp, or like even farther in Illinois, and they are a Cardinals fan and not a Cubs fan. And I
Cardinals
are
all over.
I don't know how many baseball
people
teams are like that, so I think that's something special they have going on there. So I'll give the Cardinals like an 8.
There's apparently like
Cardinals are 10 out of 10.
so apparently there's like a little cult following
I
of
still like
Cardinals fans in like northern Alabama, and like in that area of the South. Like one of my friends that I met at school, like generational, you could tell by the way, a generational Alabamian, you know what I mean? And he was fucking the biggest fucking Cardinals fan I've ever, like bigger than some of the fucking people I see here in St. Louis, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm just like, how did this happen? He's like, he was just like my parents and like their grandparents, and like I guess the Cardinals games were one of the only games that they would get on the radio.
Yeah, they broadcast pretty far in like a bubble around us. Yeah,
that's
it really does.
A lot of the games.
That's what I'm saying, and like, so like in those areas, that's just what people like. Anybody who could only catch Cards games, that's who you're fucking going ham for, you know.
True.
So that I think that I do agree that it's probably like top 5.
It is like probably it may be the only good thing about St. Louis.
Brand in the MLB? Maybe?
Like,
oh yeah.
I mean, I would say it's one of the best brands. It's not the most valuable.
Like, obviously,
I think it's one of the best organizations, though,
1 and
too.
2.
Yeah.
It's one of the best brands and it works.
Yankees not. Yeah,
well, fuck the Dodgers, fuck the Yankees.
Yeah, but they have the money and they have the brand.
No,
so...
like literally, you gotta look
fuck
at the
any
brand,
of the
bro.
teams that have way too much money to just spend on players and just ruin the league.
We have a lot of money too, though.
Oh, the Cardinals are a small market team that occasionally wins.
Yeah, we are like
we're like middle of the pack. I think we're middle of the. Yeah, I think we're literally exactly in the middle of the pack in terms of payroll every year.
Yeah, that's fair.
So like, I feel. Well, how would you guys feel about a salary cap for baseball? I feel like the fact that there really isn't one.
It's been such a lucrative sport for the owners for so long that like that's what this whole lockout this year was about. We can do a little. Here's a sidebar real quick. There's your sidebar noise.
Yeah, I guess players would.
And there's a little sidebar here. The whole reason, no, the players don't like it. One, because it limits their salary and how large they can get paid, but also the owners don't like it because they like to be able to, run out, grab whatever players they want and win that time, and otherwise tank, just rake in that sweet profit sharing from the MLB and the TV contract.
I think that the MLB has like a really long-standing financial history of leaning towards the
dead sport,
right wing, like right wing capitalism, like spending
except the Cardinals.
Like if it's about like, oh hey, this is business, and I that's the thing when you said like, how do you feel about a salary cap? My first thought was, well, like the teams like the Yankees and like the Dodgers that have those massive spending like pools.
Yeah, so there is like a luxury tax aspect to it, but like those teams are so rich they still don't care.
Yeah, exactly. And they don't have to because the money comes in. And what I'm saying is if you tell them that you have to cap salaries, the money may not come in the same way. And that might be the big argument of like, you're affecting our business and the way we run our organization that we've been doing.
I don't know if that's the case because they're still going to make the same money when they make most of their money off of attendance and not attendance, off TV deals. So really, whether people showed up or not, like they were bitching about, oh my God, we lost so much money from not having fans in stands. It's like, yeah, you probably lost some money, but it's like the TV deal was still paying you guys out. Like I don't know.
There is also the element though that you have to remember.
They're acting like they're all of a sudden destitute and like everybody's like a Schlitz Creek.
Like we're in an era where TV stations, like all these like traditional TV broadcasting stations are like shelling out arms and legs to hold on to whatever.
I don't know why or how these TV networks have enough money. I guess there's just that many fucking boomers out there that keep these like TV deals running.
100%.
Because I don't know anyone under the age. I mean, honestly, even like 35, 40 who's using traditional cable. Like maybe people that watch sports, but I just watch it all online.
Closest thing to it is like buying streaming packages that those major cable companies own, like Peacock and stuff, like the Olympics.
Yeah,
but like
I can get down with that.
Yeah, I just use that as my TV as well. I just have all of this.
Yeah,
and every single app now between my sister, my parents, and me. So.
Yeah, it's pretty nice to live at that age.
I have Peacock. I got Discovery Plus. Even we got,
but it's like the same near fucking price as just having regular cable. So that's kind of the.
I mean, yeah, but when you split it up between everybody, and as long as they allow
well, let's be real. It's better to be able to select your own content and tailor it towards yourself.
Yeah, dudes, if you have Peacock, it's worth a watch. Holy fuck, dude! I've been watching so much vintage WWF and WWE shit. Like I rewatched the fight between Eddie
Hold on, one sec.
For the
Jamie, hold on, Jamie, play the hot take sound.
Hot take. Double kill.
Wrestling fake wrestling. I'll put the asterisk on it. Fake wrestling in all its forms is stupid and a waste of time. Go out there and beat each other's ass for real. Or
I only enjoy really fucking cheesy things. Yeah, we can do this right now. We can do this right now.
Durs, I know you're the host. I think the emergent
wrestling is like fake wrestling is a 3 out of 10.
I'm ready to go.
WWE stuff like that is like a good 3 out of 10. Some of the memes from it are good, but it doesn't redeem it on a whole. It's just kind of a meme. Like I'd rather watch Khabib Nurmagomedov fucking beat somebody's head.
Can I post video links in here?
No.
Can I post a video link to help defend myself? Because you'll be entertained.
Your argument would stand on merit alone. No.
Because I haven't given my take. You don't know my stance. Fuck you, bro.
What happened. All right, yeah.
Do yours. You
have your platform. Alex got action figures in the back. Of course,
you have your platform. Go first, Parm.
Okay, bro. Fucking the Madman McFoley versus Undertaker. I think it was SummerSlam, whatever, Rage in the Cage, whatever the fuck it was. They're fucking not because yes, it's fake wrestling, like as in it's planned and there's a storyline to it, like there's a predetermined winner and loser,
but
right?
They don't even hit each other.
But the shit they were doing back then. But no, that's not true though. So when that fucking shit happened, like back in the day, they were doing those stunts and like there was no regulation. They're private contractors. There's no OSHA here. So
but they talked about it. They didn't just sit there beating the shit out of each other.
Yeah.
But there's a level of risk.
I'm about to get to it. So during this cage match, they both climbed up to the very fucking top and just started fighting before the bell even rung. And like all this shit. And eventually it gets to a point where because they're communicating with each other on what stunts to do. And fucking McFoley tells the Undertaker to throw him off the cage onto the like they have the announcer tables. They made those to break,
destructible, right? They have destructible tables everywhere.
So they did that stunt. And you want to know what happened to McFoley? He was concussed and they had to bring out a medical team, and like he did break his back
when
and his tooth shot through his nose.
Jesus.
His tooth shot through his nose.
I'm not
and
saying
you can see it in the camera close up.
So what is your point? Is it's difficult so it's entertaining?
He fucking gets up. He gets up, and these are medical professionals who are at this point telling him to hold back because there's a tooth hanging out of his nose, and he's severely concussed. And he just starts running at the Undertaker to continue the fucking match. And then they finish it out, and he's just on the ground, and then they take him out on an actual stretcher.
Jesus Christ. Okay.
Vintage wrestling, from that era.
Okay, but I'm not alive. I was not alive watching this shit. Because
we were alive for this.
Well, okay,
we were alive for this.
But my first exposure to wrestling, and this is why I still to this day give it a 3 out of 10, is that people would buy the stupid action figure, little wrestling rings, and then they'd be like, "Hey, you want to hang out and come play wrestling with me?" And I'd be like, "Dude, what the fuck? I'm not gonna sit in your room and play with."
Those like little fucked up by not telling you to watch. Bro.
Well, yeah, no, I never actually watched any of it because I didn't like.
That's what you have Peacock, dude. You have Peacock. Watch this fight. I'm telling you to watch.
Why am I watching? No, I'm not gonna.
You can skip to.
I am a grown ass man. I'm going to watch MMA. Where
all right, I've had enough of Parm slander. I'm gonna give my take now.
Obviously, 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10.
Okay, wrestling is not a 10 out of 10. I do not agree with that. Nor do I agree with a 3 out of 10. It's not that bad. But it's. I understand the association with the action figures because that was one of the first thoughts I had when I thought about wrestling as a topic. Because my brothers had them, and it was the same thing where they had like Hulk Hogan and like everything. The Sega games, like I remember playing those, and I always thought this is dumb. It was dumb, and then watching the TV was even more dumb for me. Like I just didn't enjoy it. Now, granted, it was like the side of like when I was growing up, I had my mom's house, my dad's house, or whatever. And at my dad's house, that's where we watched wrestling, and I was only there for so much time, so I didn't really watch from my mom's. So it wasn't like a retained interest for me.
Yeah.
So looking back on it, I was like, okay, well, I kind of enjoyed some of it. I liked how like ridiculous it is sometimes, and I like the concept. But the problem is that it's fake, right? So like. I have a guy who sits behind me at work who's like really into wrestling. Like he used to be an amateur level pro wrestler, and he showed me a lot of stuff, and I'm like, oh, that is pretty cool. Those are things, and like having like cool like signature moves, movies. like okay, there's this one. I can't remember the name of the wrestler, but there was a wrestler who's a move called the One-Winged Angel, and I was like, okay, the One-Winged Angel is a cool ass name. Like, that's like a fucking Sephiroth or, like, Cloud from Final Fantasy game move. Like, that's sick. And then I found out that this is where my real take comes in. This is, like, the one saving grace that I enjoy. Have you heard of Gold Dust? Gold Dust was like... Gold Dust was like a gay-pushing wrestler who was, like, threatening to kiss the other wrestlers, like, while intimidating them and shit. And that shit gets me.
That's goated. Never mind.
That shit's goated as fuck. So that's why I'll give wrestling like a solid 6.5 personally because of Gold Dust as a character. When I found out about Gold Dust, I lost my shit. I was like, Gold Dust did so much in that period of the 90s and the 2000s for the LGBTQ movement without even realizing it. Because he was just trying to kiss everybody to intimidate him. That's hilarious.
Dude, there's so much good. Like, even Japanese wrestling is insane.
Japanese wrestling,
there's a clown.
Japanese wrestling is crazy.
The clown.
Yeah.
And then, I could go on for days, but
it's still pretty mid.
Rikishi
I'd say 6.5.
Was a big man who would pull up his Speedo and smother people's faces with his ass.
I mean, that's the thing. I feel like we grew up in a time where the WWE and all of that was so popular, and all the characters and all those people became.
It was a golden age, right?
You know, they became personalities in their own right. But I think because of the time in which I grew up, wrestling. Yeah, but the time we grew up, I remember my first exposure to wrestling has always come from people being like, oh my god, it's so real. They just beat the crap out of each other, and because when you're young and you're kids, you guys know what I'm talking about. Do you know people who thought wrestling was real? When
I know people. I know someone who still thinks wrestling is one of the coolest things. And if you bring up wrestling around him, he will just start talking about wrestling.
As a child, I
think he's 36.
See,
he doesn't think it's real, but he enjoys it that way.
I've always been the Debbie Downer over here. Okay, when I was a kid, people were talking about this wrestling is real, and that's what bothered me about it. I wasn't even into normal wrestling.
What do you also
even into normal
look
wrestling?
Your parents in the eye and tell them Santa did not get me this? Were you that child?
No, I wasn't. For some reason I was fine with Santa because no. So here's the funny part is because very early on, here's a good segue.
For all of our young age listeners, Santa's totally real, guys. I promise.
Oh, fuck them.
Totally fast forward to the next section if you don't want this part spoiled for you. Go on.
Okay. No. But for real, one of the things with my thing with Santa is in my the connection to how I'm an atheist is because Santa gives you things. They always talk about God is so giving, God is so loving, he'll take care of you and look out for you, but it's where's his fucking presents under the tree? Jesus never gave me shit.
Jesus gave you the gift of dying on the cross for your sins.
Santa gave me the GameCube, the Wii.
Yeah.
Santa is Japanese.
Dude,
is what you're
what
telling
does that
me?
even mean? What does it even mean? He died for our sins. I'm so
let's
that's
not.
What I'm saying.
Never met. Let's not.
No, this is a great. This is a great segue from. We're going from one fake thing to another. We went from WWE.
No, we can go from Santa and WWE. Let's not go to the theism of Catholicism. Let's just leave that alone.
My point is. While wrestling is storyboarded, they are still professional stuntmen. And
I think wrestling is a comedic expression of this comedy. I can understand.
6.5. Shonen is tighter. If you want a cool fight, just go watch a shonen.
Fighting thing, no.
Shonen is just that's what I think the wrestling wants to be. Is it just wants to be fucking shonens? It wants to be Demon Slayer or fucking Dragon Ball Z. It just can never be that because it's not real.
Yeah, but they're not willing to be as gay and graceful as they are in anime.
Exactly.
They're much more
But that's because it's so not real. It can be that way. If something's not real, I want it to be not real.
Slotted up into during that time.
Polymorphic, people don't look so non-gendered in anime.
Yeah, Frieza.
Final
form. You can't tell. The Rock is a masculine icon.
Are just anime characters. They just don't know it yet.
Yeah, I think they're weeb light.
The Undertaker died and came back to life 6 times. WWE fans are anime fans. They just don't know
here's a random hot take. Hold on, Jamie, play the hot take sound.
Hot take.
The Transformers movies have been continually moving towards animes. They're basically just becoming more and more animes as they get more CGI.
Have you not seen the Transformers fucking anime show on Netflix?
Yeah, I mean when they had dinosaur Transformers, you're just following along.
Don't talk about the Dinobots in such disgrace. Anime. No. Don't talk about the Dinobots like that, man.
I haven't even seen that movie. I just saw the poster for it.
I haven't seen a Transformers since the second one with
what was the character's name? Michael Witwicky or something?
Sam Witwicky.
Michael Witwicky.
Michael Wikipedia.
Mike Wazowski.
Mike Wazowski. Let's talk about those live action Transformers movies though. Let's just be real. I'm gonna give my take on that.
They're decent.
They're not. They're trash. The first one came out when I was like, I don't know, 13 maybe, and I just remember being so excited for it because I loved Transformers growing up, and I had so many of the toys, and I watched all the cartoons.
In it.
And it did. Yes, it had Shia LaBeouf and Megan Fox. And guess what? Those fucking fight scenes, which I was so excited for, they looked like fucking drawers of silverware thrown in the air.
Yeah, it was
fucking awful.
And you just had all this highway fight scene, dude.
Everywhere. Like this is the second to last fight scene that they do, and it's on the highway. And they're transforming out of car and robot mode and shit, and it just looks terrible. And I'm like, I don't enjoy this as a 13-year-old. And I remember this is like when I started thinking, am I jaded? Like at the age of 13, I'm like, am I jaded on movies? Are movies just not as good as I think they should be? And then I went back and I watched the original Transformers movie from the 80s, and that shit fucking rips. So I think Transformers is just a better left medium in cartoon form. And I think that's like the problem with it. It's like being an anime, it's better.
Some things should not be live action.
Yes, and Transformers
and it lost its practical effects as well.
Yes,
or you like if you were gonna do a Transformers, like this is another hot take. Is I feel like that was kind of the beginning of where we transitioned from having a lot of live action or like kind of less obviously CGI'd stuff. You know, like when Iron Man is the best example of this. I think. Like, Iron Man 1 to Iron Man 3, you have a suit that is like basically just like a nanobot skin that flows over him and is like, you know, very
it's more
easy
Infinity War, but
Infinity War the first Iron Man, when he puts on that suit, like he like stomps down and it like locks over him and it like there's like steam coming out of it. It's like kind of more cyberpunky. Yeah, and I think that like realism is the same sort of thing that Transformers needed. Like you needed to really feel like. Because they got away from like oil dripping and like, you know, mechanical whirling and
wet, muscular.
Yeah, but hang on.
12 naked robo cowboys in the shower. Okay. No, but like I wanted a sensual transfer.
Dude, this guy wants to fuck RC.
Why don't they have cocks?
Yeah, I mean, I wanted to see Optimus hang dong.
I don't think they reproduce like that.
Where was the thunder gun element?
I don't think you guys understand the lore of Transformers, but that's okay.
I need a Transformers.
Well, they already are basically humanoid. That's probably so why do they not replicate the dicks? Do they have?
I don't think they have the need because they use the Allspark to like channel their life force within the being of being.
But they're
okay.
So like I don't think they reproduce that way. Like because like you have to understand like Optimus like he's died in those movies even if they're shit.
Transformers fuck.
Do you guys remember that Transformers game that came out on the 360?
No.
Like the multiplayer like battle arena shooter?
No.
I'm just random shout out. That shit slapped. It slapped.
There's a Transformers.
There's supposed to be a Gundam one, a Gundam like Overwatch clone on PlayStation. It's out of Japan, I think. Actually, you know what? Let's go to the real more important topic because this is one actually on one of our lists.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Overwatch 2. Last episode we recorded, I was like talking shit about Overwatch, right? I was literally saying where is the beta? League is starting in May. It's March. They announced the beta like a day after we recorded the episode. So that's coming out, and that's a thing you can sign up for.
Oh, should I sign up?
It's in April.
You have the link.
It's just like search Overwatch 2 early access.
At our Patreon page in the description.
Yeah, check the Patreon. Jamie.
We actually have an early.
Jamie, link that in the Patreon.
Link the Patreon.
Just let them know. Let the people know.
Thank you.
Overwatch 2 gonna be huge. Probably going to be exactly the same as Overwatch 1. Jamie. I doubt it'll be any better.
It's not going to be the same. I'm
not a huge Overwatcher, but I do enjoy the game occasionally.
No. It's going to be fundamentally different. They are removing
it'll be okay.
2 capture point maps, so you're not doing a full-on assault anymore. So no more Horizon, no more Volskaya maps like that. They are adding a mode called Push, where there's like a robot in the middle. Kind of like a cart, but it's a robot instead, and you push it between a distance on each side.
Oh, like that mode in the League of Legends spin-off thing, like one of their event modes.
More like TF2.
It's like Dominion.
Push the scuttle.
It's like Dominion.
Yeah, it's like scuttle racing kind of. And it's now a 5v5 game with one tank.
It's fun.
So a lot of heroes are getting reworked. They're adding, I think, 3 new heroes to the game. New overhaul for the UI. New base skin for every character. They're doing a lot of things for it. It's going to be apparently the biggest update since launch, is what was said. And it's supposed to be next month.
It's Blizzard.
I'm going to give my early take of it's going to be maybe a 7 or an 8, and that's kind of dependent upon whether or not I get a beta access. Because if I get beta access, shit, you know me. Probably. I hope. I would love to just do a little Overwatch 2 streaming.
Yeah, if you find that, sign up for me.
It's not hard to find. I can get it for you right now.
Oh, okay.
You guys give your takes though while we're on that. Actually,
yeah. I mean, I'm excited for Overwatch 2. I'm apprehensive about any.
I've never cared for Overwatch. I played it.
But would you get into it if you had the opportunity to get it?
I mean, the boys will play it, so I'll probably play some. But
yeah, I think
wait. It's gonna be free, right?
I'm putting it in the chat. No, it probably won't be free.
If it's free, then
here's what it says. So,
well,
4 new maps. 5v5, new hero Sojourn, new mode push, hero reworks for Orisa, Doomfist, Bastion, Sombra, and a new ping system.
Reworking Orisa? I'm trash game.
A ping system as well, kind of similar to Apex Legends. So.
Okay.
Oh, good. I can ping my teammates when they're not hitting headshots.
Yeah, exactly. Fuck them.
I don't know. So my take is I never like the price tag on Overwatch is what turned me off, because every game that's like that's only really multiplayer based is usually free. You know what I mean? If I have to buy skins and I'm playing CS:GO, right. I put plenty of money into that. League of Legends.
Okay, actually, let me rephrase. Go ahead.
Oh, so yeah, I'll probably download the beta if that's free, unless they're charging me $5 to like paste their pre-com, I guess. Like,
I think what they're supposed to do though is like
I'll play the beta and. Yeah,
I'm thinking about what they said they were going to do in the past, but I'm feeling like what they said was they were going to do something like, if you have Overwatch 1 and you're just playing PvP, they're going to give everyone the PvP upgrade for who has the game already. If you want the PvE and the story mode stuff they're releasing, it's going to cost a little bit more. Yes. Like, think about, have you ever played any of the story ones in the events?
Yes, just what I wanted in Overwatch, a story mode.
It's like story missions and stuff. It's
that's
like
what it's been missing this whole time.
Yes, the cherry on top, if you will.
I think if they do well with managing the multiplayer and they make it interesting, then I think it will be a fine game. I think the PvE doesn't matter for shit.
Yeah.
I think it'll be fun to play once with the boys or something.
I'm shitting on Overwatch having a story mode and everything like that, but I'm the guy who's wanting like a League of Legends MMO or like a League of Legends kind of.
We're getting
League
that.
MMO.
We're getting
League
that.
MMO is going to be so nuts.
We're getting MMO.
Yeah,
I can't wait to play that, dude.
It's happening.
Yeah, I'm excited for that.
Probably 2023,
are we running around as a band of Yordles?
Oh,
can we all just run around as like red?
Give us your lunch money.
Called the Ugandan Knuckle Squad.
Sorry. Hey, give us your lunch money.
Revive dead memes. Yeah.
Just run around, just.
For the audio listeners, we are looking upward because Yordles are small.
Yeah, there's
a very, very tiny.
Verbal meme.
Yes.
Bro, here's a quick.
Also, if you're an audio listener, dude, fuck you. Watch the YouTube. God. Anyways, go on.
The YouTube clips where we meme about
Spotify, Apple. God damn. All right.
Oh, what was I forgot my side take?
And also, we added a new thing for our patrons. If you give us $50,
that's what it was.
You can actually have a meet and greet with Jamie.
You can meet our editor and talk to a real person who helps us with all these great stream effects and really see what it's like to be somebody like managing a podcast and doing all the audio work and all the background setup behind that. So look to our Patreon for all the information. But on to our next topic, I just want to talk about the death of NFTs and all the Second Life metaverse. I feel like it's already fizzled out of the kind of popular
I feel like
thought.
That's a good transition. Dead game.
Yeah, dead game, Overwatch,
dead money.
Dead topic, dead money, and NFTs.
Fuck NFTs, I think.
NFTs are 0 out of 10.
I love Bitcoin. Love Bitcoin. Bitcoin's a great thing.
Nah, fuck.
No, cryptocurrencies are wasteful.
Fuck cryptocurrencies. Fuck NFTs. All for the same reasons.
I don't mind it.
Dude, the economic footprint they leave is just too problematic. I don't believe in doing shit like that. Yeah. There's other ways to make money, and I'm sorry that it's not some internet thing that you can't do that's cool. like some youngin you want to be. I'm not trying to be the old man here, but I'm being serious. I think that shit is so toxic to even think about because it is being generated by a computer that is mining, which is fucking wasteful to the environment.
There's just no reason for it. It's like, why did we make it a thing? Like, why did we have to make
so people could buy drugs and child porn on the fucking internet?
The endless pursuit.
That's why cryptocurrency existed. Cryptocurrency existed so people could buy illegal shit on the internet, and now it's perpetuated.
Yeah,
kind of, but really, what people like the whole thing that's attractive to them is being outside of the banking system. So they feel that this has
because they needed to buy illegal things on the internet back.
But it's like 2000s. I think we found that like it has the same.
Well, I think that's what it used to be exclusively that, but now it's like a sign of like they're trying to mold it into something else. You know, it's not just.
It's just no. I know it's not the intention. It's just the origin point.
Yeah, it's like a fucking casino to them almost.
Yeah, like and that's fine. People can do that, and that's okay. But like for me personally, the moral stance of carbon footprint alone is like, nah, I'm good. So 0 out of 10.
I feel that.
Well, I guess it's a 1.
Yeah, I'm saying
I guess it's a 1.
Crypto NFTs, the metaverse, all 0 out of 10 on my
metaverse is stupid.
All basically useless waste of resources. Just a waste of time.
Oh, yeah. And fuck Mark Zuckerberg, dude.
Like, for a singular purchase in my life, I have used Bitcoin for a narcotic over the internet. Great experience. And
luckily, we're deep enough in the episode to not get demonetized. Ooh.
Listen. If I left it I bought something on the internet with Bitcoin, the wandering mind of that could just be insane.
It was a Jake Paul fake Pokemon card.
A Bible.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
It was that fake Charizard he opened.
Yes, exactly. I bought $20 bills. So like I feel like I'd be a hypocrite if I gave it just like a 1 or a 0 because I've used it at one point. So like 2, 3.
Okay, fair.
NFTs are a 0, but
NFTs are a fucking L. They're lame.
I will say with the metaverse, however, they're having quality memes, as well as the NFT bros making themselves look like complete rubes and absolute goons in their little advertisements and stuff.
And I mean, shout out to Twitter account, NFT, or Crypto Bros, taking L's or whatever.
Yo, shout out to my Crypto Bros being idiots. Let's go.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it's been some good entertainment.
Just turn it off. I don't want you to fucking listen.
Yeah, bro, what are you doing right now? You're using a valuable video card memory on the street.
I'm going to roll it back so that way these guys don't alienate everyone. I only think one of us really need to attack the Crypto Bros, but all 3 of us is pretty bad.
No, I'm a crypto hater.
Yeah, no, it's cool. I think our rankings of it speak for itself. It's not a very popular topic amongst the boys. Iggy, yuck, gross, yuck, ew, ew.
All right. Well, we did have a nice slew of animal topics as well. So we could talk about our
petting zoo.
Please.
Are we going to talk about our petting zoo of animals here? Because we do have some quite interesting animal facts. Parm, did you want to go first? I heard you had some quite interesting
disgusting tuxedoed bastards.
Oh, yes, Jesus. I mean, what is the book we read about in school about penguins? You remember there was like a penguin,
Mr. Popper's. Penguins.
Yeah, Mr. Popper's Penguins, and so now that's my
view. Movie. I think Jim Carrey starred.
Yep, you're right. Yep, it was okay.
Wasn't that like a children's book first though?
Yeah, it was. I read it in school first.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, like in elementary school or something.
Okay.
So that was my view on penguins. I'll start with they're the friendly little birds.
Okay. Oh.
So just go ahead.
Penguins? I used to love penguins. Then I stumbled upon some fucking information about these tuxedoed bastards. So when observers first went to go take a trip to Antarctica and observe these creatures, the things they observed were kind of horrific and bad for they thought if they told people at the time it would create almost prime kill. You know how people back then probably were just chastising things. I don't know.
Oh yeah, back then they don't do that these days.
Yeah, they don't do that. They recorded all their findings in code, and the things it was grophilia, just insanely things that you don't see in normal animal communities, I guess. So for that reason, penguins 4.5 out of 10. Okay. They're still pretty cute.
Okay. I got my take ready.
Happy Feet's a great movie.
I'm gonna hit it with a 10 out of 10 on the Penguins because I don't fucking care about what Penguins' weird habits they do are, including the things that you're referencing with the findings. I mean, that's crazy, But here's the thing: I got 3 things. Number 1, least commonly known, Atypical on Netflix. It's a Netflix original series about an autistic kid who loves penguins, and his growth as a character, driven by him wanting to go to Antarctica and study penguins, is it's really fun to watch as a character development thing. So I'm gonna say that gotta have that. Number 2, I liked going to the zoo in St. Louis particularly, and I always enjoyed the penguins the most. Now the smells, whatever, but the human smell but the human nose can only smell something for 15 seconds and then it goes away. So
it doesn't smell that bad after in there for a sec.
Exactly. So for me, it was just exciting to see the penguins because they're always so interactive. You get splashed by the water occasionally, you get some of their
dookie water on you, and
dude. It's cool though because it's a fun little experience. It's the zoo, and I don't know, it's just really neat to see that environment. And there's a lot of cool penguins there, and they do their little penguin thing.
The dookie water with all
and then last and not least, probably the most important, penguins of Madagascar, man. Those guys are fucking lit. So I'm gonna say penguins 10 out of 10 for me.
Roger.
Roger.
Here's my whole perspective on penguins. I mean, what they do in their personal time between penguin number 1 and penguin number 2, that's neither here nor there for me.
Nature,
what they do in their to each their own. All right, everyone, whatever they want to do in their own homes is up to them. However depraved it may be. Now that being said,
what you do within the walls of your own home,
and their hovels and their straw strewn in penguin corpse strewn hovels
and sex puppets. It's just
I don't care what they do in their nasty cum-stenched dens.
Oh my god!
All right, we don't have to include that, but
it's staying.
But anyway,
it's not.
Well, when you just describe it like that, I kind of want to change to a 10 out of 10.
Their little flippers causing a crunch at each step.
I take it back. Necrophilia, hilarious. 10 out of 10.
That really changes my view of Happy Feet. That the tapping, they're not wearing tap shoes, everybody. That's just the crust on the earth over there. Anyway, I used to watch a lot of Happy Feet when I would go to bed all the time.
Great
so
movie.
It'd be like my movie. It'd be one of the only movies I had on the DVD player downstairs.
Okay.
So, toss in School of Rock or Happy Feet.
Okay.
And, you watch him just tippity tap his way.
Banger choices,
by the way. Vibing. Yeah, it's like, okay, those are the 2 movies that made their way downstairs. So
I have a great transition story before we go to our next topic. So speaking of School of Rock being one of those movies you had easy access to watch over and over.
Oh, that's a core memory.
That was a core memory movie for me. A few other ones. So Dodgeball was one of those ones for me also. Something we did eventually there. Not much longer after
had
when.
A copy of that on DVD.
Yeah. If you didn't have that on DVD and you have Space Jam on fucking VHS, you're not fucking around. You're just being a goon. But eventually my dad started doing this thing where we would go to the library. And we would rent a bunch of DVDs, and then he would go home. Instead of us watching them, he would start loading them onto the DVD burner on his computer in the mid 2000s, and he would make a photocopy with a high image printer of the case cover. So he would come in, and then he'd have a blank DVD case, and we would just put it on the shelf. And eventually, he had to build this bookshelf into the back of a wall that did something. So there was this massive bookshelf full of movies. I'm talking
my gosh.
Yeah, and this is proto Netflix, all these things happening.
No, back in the day that's what you had to.
Yeah.
Had
so this is what dude, there was probably 300-400 movies at one point.
My uncle would bring over bags of DVDs.
I don't know now what the situation that is for him if he still has a bunch of DVD movies, but I wonder how he feels sometimes. It's one of the old things.
You guys remember when you go to somebody's house and they'd have one of those disc cases and it'd be a 3-tier big leather case, and you'd open it and they just have these rolls of all the movies they had.
My brothers and I had binders for our CDs.
Yeah, you have
we had there was a big black one that zipped.
Yeah,
and it was just 4 pages.
The
zipped open and you open it.
You keep it under your seat.
Okay, real talk. I have I have a square, like Rubbermaid tote container that has like a clamp lid that is full of CDs still in my car. And my car has a CD player, so I still have CDs from like my 18.
That's awesome.
I do have a CD player.
Sometimes it's just better.
Yeah, it's pretty tight. I'm not gonna lie.
There's something to be said for listening to like music CDs. Like if you have like an album on a CD, like or even on just an album, anything where you can listen to it.
I could give us a hard good topic right here now. Singles versus albums. How do you listen to your music? Singles versus albums.
Oh, I always in my own curated playlist. Yeah, I always do singles. I like albums every now and then, but
I'm finding myself growing on the concept of singles and a few other things more often nowadays. But like, I grew up being an album person, and like that's still kind of where I am sometimes. Like, I will talk about certain songs in specific, like Kendrick Lamar is a great example of this. Where I'll be like, oh, there's better like a few singles on this album, but this album to me means more as a whole because it's a piece of work. And like that is how I think about the art and absorb it. So for me, like it's critical to have an appreciation of albums. If you're a person who like does enjoy singles, but you have to have like a couple at least good albums. You're like, but these ones, I can listen to this all the way through.
Fair. I mean, like when artists I admire are like releasing out, like pretty much anytime Kanye West releases an album, I'm gonna listen to it in order at least once or twice. You know?
Oh yeah. It's a process.
Like Joey Badass, like when he released what was it, like the All American or whatever, you know, and like A$AP Rocky, I literally that I will say that is long A$AP and the other one, I listen to those albums all the time.
I think for me, the reason I don't listen through full albums, or at least not until recently, and I started getting into it more recently, is like going through the whole album. But for me, it was always like when we were younger, like there was no easy way to get music. So like, and I wasn't old enough to get, have a job or whatever, like your middle school.
Sure.
Right when like iPods are coming out in middle school, like I had an iPod, but I didn't have very much music on it. I had
you had to use iTunes to buy it.
Yeah, like it was like every Christmas I would get some iTunes gift cards, and that was how I had some music. But like it wasn't like this expansive library that I have now, where I'm like, okay, I'm willing to listen to the full album, because that's the problem when you don't really save that much money buying the full album.
No,
like it was really like per song basis, so it was like, well, I might as well grab the songs off
the only way you like got a better deal is if there was like a 14-track album.
That's
and it's
fair.
like
$10. Yeah. So it was like, okay, cool. So then I'm like, I would never buy the full albums unless I really liked every single, like it was the greatest hits. Like first like classic rock artists had a lot of greatest hits albums coming out in like the 90s and 2000s. So
that's fair. That's totally fair.
That's a good purchase.
But yeah, that was my main thing. Is like I started thinking about why I didn't, because like recently I've started listening through like all of old Kanye albums and stuff, and realizing that I missed some songs that were really good.
Bro, like the skits I
didn't hear it on the radio.
Graduation trilogy.
Yeah, like if I didn't hear it on the radio, like you just didn't know about it. It's like, unless somebody told you.
I grew up with having like older brothers that like listened to it. I had one that listened to it. Also, my uncle listened to it, so I knew what it was.
Yeah, my sister was listening to like Taylor Swift and stuff.
Let's not even talk about her while we're talking about Kanye.
My sister was fucking with it, dude. She would buy like CDs and it would be fucking sick. Like she had all three of the Kanye anthology. Oh, I fucking bumped it. We would bump the shit out of those in the car.
Oh yeah.
Like she was fucking. She had good taste in music. Not so much anymore. That's pretty garbage.
Oh, that sucks. That she fell off.
Poor Nick Breed just getting roasted for music.
And whoop-a-dee-doop.
Whoa, Nick Breed.
All right, so wait, we totally got lost in transition. There.
Curtis reset his camera. We started talking about some dumb shit. Who knows? We can cut it.
Well, we were talking about penguins, but I think the next.
So obviously the natural transition we were trying to make from penguins was to alligators, I believe, right? Was that
naturally, naturally with our DVD to music.
Or was
it
giraffes?
Our album listening preferences. It is going on to alligators, and the reason I had to bring up gators is because I've been alligator hunting. I went alligator hunting with my dad in Florida. Like we went out on the airboat. We did the whole, Well, one, you don't actually really do much is the other thing. Like we went out with like a guide and they take you out on their airboat and like they basically hook up the gator onto this, like, it's a fishing reel. So like you go around and like they play these gator calls, which is what's funny is that to call in gators eat their own young. Like the male gators will come and eat the babies. So to hunt gators, you play like a gator baby cries on loop. So like the whole time it's like croaking and like, just like small gator sound.
Wow.
And this is how you draw in, like, and then the guide would be like, "Oh, you hear him?" And he would just hear like the grass crunching as like a gator started walking towards the like boat or like was swimming out of the boat. Like this guy would just knew.
Wow.
But like, so then he throws this like fish hook looking thing. It's like this kind of grappling hook with the weight on it. And then it's supposed to like drag over the gator and just like stick in it. It's not actually going to like go in and hook it like it kind of like a fish, but it'll annoy it enough to like try to run and kind of drag it towards you a little bit. And then once it gets close enough, like once you reeled it in a little bit, he had a gas powered crossbow with a line on it. So he had the gas powered crossbow. So then once he got close, you hit him with the gas powered crossbow. And then you take that heavier line to get him like up near the boat. And then finally they have the boomstick, which is just it's a long pole with a shotgun shell on the bottom of it and a little pin so that when you smash the gator on the top of the head, it just blows its brains in.
Yeah, so at least it's more merciful death then.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's definitely more humanitarian.
So that's the whole fun aspect, and like it's very like well controlled and gator hunting and it's all great, that's all good. But there's these myths out here that gators are fast and that they're like, apex predators where they're gonna like hunt you down and chase you out of a tree or something, or like, people are like, don't get anywhere near them. Like, you have no warning, they're so fast. It's like, yes, if you're near the water's edge and you have like your hand in the water or you have like a small pet near the water, they may be in danger of a gator like thrusting out of the water, grabbing them and hiding back in the water. But gators, like, I mean, if you just look at them, they cannot run. They are not quick.
Yeah.
They for some reason there was some sort of study or something that some guy misquoted the speed of gators to be like 20 miles an hour or something. But they are not outside of water, which they rarely even get out of the water is the other thing. Like if anything, they're laying in some brush next to the water. And again, they can't run. So if you're not within like snapping distance, they use their tail to like pop out of the water or to move quickly. If you're, I don't know, 6-7 feet back, you're never in any danger.
Huh.
So gators are like a 7 out of 10. Dope, like prehistoric dinosaur.
Okay.
They're awesome.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you, Crocodile Dunders. Appreciate your gator hunting information.
This is my gator rant.
Damn, dude. Okay, that's way better than mine.
Next time, do it in Australia, like an Australian accent.
Yeah, crikey.
Oi, mate.
I think gators
Oi,
all right.
mate.
All right, cool.
No, I'd have to fucking.
No, I think alligators are cool. I think they're a fun animal, like to be interested in, especially with like when little kids get all hyped about a certain animal and stuff, and they get like real specific
and they're
about
super chill too. Like
I think alligator kids are fun. I think alligator kids are cool kids.
Yeah, you can hold them and you can mess around.
Like with compared them. To like a fucking like oh, do you know about poodles? What do you know about pigs? It's like, no, leave me alone, kid. But this is also probably me coming from like
any kids that were like into barn animals and stuff. Like,
anyways,
dinosaur kids.
Have you guys ever eaten gator?
I have.
Yeah, I have. It's good. I like it. I thought it was good. I thought it was good when I had it in a restaurant in Florida. It was fire.
It's just like kind of a more moist chicken in a way. Like it's a little bit different structure because it's like a a fishy reptile thing.
It's a different kind of meat, but it's still it's solid. It's solid. It's not bad.
Their muscles really tight.
Also, probably one of my favorite. This is like a super weird take, and I'm not going to flash an image on screen. Just kidding, I totally will. One of my favorite Megazords from Power Rangers back in the day was from Wild Force, and it was like the Predator Megazord, and it was a crocodile,
the Gator Ranger.
So it was a Wolf Ranger actually. So it was like a silver wolf, a purple hammerhead shark, and then a big like alligator or crocodile. Was like the main part of the whole body. And it was this giant like toy Zord that was super cool, like compared to a lot of the other ones from that generation. So it's probably one of my favorite designs ever for a Megazord. Like, it was just a really cool color pattern, cool design, and that up it's for me. It's a big Power Rangers fan. So I'm going to give Gators like an 8. Maybe like 8.5.
Okay. Beating me out. I was being pretty...
That's respectable. So like when I think Gators, what comes to mind is just
Florida Gators.
Florida Gators, baby.
Yeah,
Florida fucking Gators.
Shit, man, Florida man,
baby. And like, so like,
I mean, there is Gatorade as well.
Ooh, Gatorade is
fucking
tight.
Amazing group of people those UF folks are. Like in college, I had a wonderful opportunity to hang out with a couple of Florida Gators. During like a weekend we were playing them, right? Or no, they weren't playing. They were just on our campus for no fucking reason. I have no idea. They're just like, we're here to visit the house. Like, okay, cool. It's a Thursday, but that's fine. And these motherfuckers, like, I was walking back from the bars to like get picked up for my Uber, and like this is the first night, and I like see like 4 guys outside our stadium like running away from police, and I get back to the house, and one of their friends who's like there, he's like, hey, like, this is who I am. I'm missing 4 friends right now. And I'm like, oh, 4 friends? What were they wearing? Like, what do they look like? They're like, one guy was Chinese. I was like, you wouldn't believe this. I saw a group of 4 men, like 4 guys.
Including one Chinese
the
man.
Cops over like my student center. Yeah. And like, dude, these fucking dudes were so nice. And like, I got the opportunity to go to Gainesville and hang out with them. And they took me to a party. And I got tired. And like, at 1 a.m., drunk me was like, all right, time to walk home. And like, I'm fucking going, and I get lost. It's huge. It's a huge fucking, like, it's a city.
Yeah, massive campus,
and this random, like, so I'm obviously lost, and my phone's dead. And this random, like, group of people, like, they're like, hey, are you okay? And I'm like, not really. And they're like,
visibly not okay.
You want to smoke a blunt back at our place and eat some chicken? And I was like, fucking A, I do. And so, like, I go, like, yeah, right? And I go there, and they have, like, just, like, fucking 4 platters from, like, a tailgate of chicken. And, like, we're, like, getting ready to smoke. We're getting ready to smoke out of this bong. And, like, there's no lighter to be found. So we came up with a solution. There's, like, 10 people in the house. And so we came up with the idea of, like, burning a paper towel on the stove and taking it to like the side door, and so we had a conveyor belt of people like passing this down. It was amazing people.
Oh my god!
10 out of 10 Gators.
Ingenuity.
I don't fucking care about the animals.
Go Gators! Gators 10 out of 10.
Okay.
There's a reason they're number 7. I fucking like War Eagle, obviously, but goddamn, I love those people.
Bravo! Round of applause.
Yeah.
All right,
and beat our ass that day.
I think that I mean, just to round out our animal adventure here, Alec, you're having a love affair with some giraffes.
Oh yeah, giraffes are fucking cool. I think they're fucking sick.
Okay.
Big horse, weird legs, long neck. Also, like, I don't know. I feel like
them necky boys.
I feel like giraffes are just a fucking weird animal, and like they have so many interesting like little things about them.
They're just such like an odd thing to exist.
Yeah, they're a marvel.
The whole reason they're a thing is to reach like the top of the trees.
Yes, like, to get the fruit because they got them long boy necks. Yeah,
they just got that. Boy, the fucking tongue is like my arm.
Or like the little like things they grow off the back of their head or whatever. They're not even like their ears actually. Like what are those? What are those, man? That's crazy. What are those?
My sister was always obsessed with giraffes.
Yeah, they're cool, man. They got a cool pattern.
Giraffes, animals.
I feel like you're either like a giraffes obsessor or like an elephants obsessor. You know what I mean? Like that.
I was gonna say, I feel like the experience we have of being, St. Louis boys and having the zoo we had, like the part of the River's Edge you always look forward to was like one of 3 things. It was either those 2. Whether it was giraffes or elephants, or then it was maybe like the tigers or leopards if they were out. But that's the thing; it was always the if they were out.
See, I always liked the African wild ass.
Since we're talking about animals,
dude, the Somali wild ass.
Since we're talking about animals,
the Somali wild ass.
What's like your pecking order for when you go to the zoo? Like, because everyone has their priority.
Penguins number 1.
You know what I mean?
Penguins are if I'm going to the zoo, and if we're going to the St. Louis Zoo, and I don't go to the Penguins, then I had a bad time.
Yeah.
Like, that's my determining factor.
Also nice.
I really don't like the zoo that much, because I'm going to be real. Like, I'm a gremlin, and I don't like going out. Like I like being home. I don't have a lot of time, so when I
hide
do,
in your cave.
Yeah, man. I like streaming. I like making the YouTube videos for this stuff. I like recording with you guys. Like I got the dog I got to take care of. He's an animal enough.
Yeah.
So, but like when I do get to go to the zoo, if I were to go to the zoo,
he's an interactive one.
He is, but the thing is, I can't bring him to the zoo. But if I could, I would. But if I go to the zoo, like, sure, there's things I want to see and I want to enjoy the weather and stuff. But the one thing I have to do when I go is see the penguins, or else I'm having a bad time.
Yeah, so that's fair. Your priority, and like
I would say. Okay. I would say that like the one reason the penguins are goated and why everyone probably put them on their list is because it's cold. And when it's 80, 90 degrees in St. Louis and humid, going to see the penguins and walking into the 30, 40 degree, whatever it is, room.
But then they try to debate the people who have like kids and shit because they have a gift shop at the end and they're like, oh, hey.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
Yeah.
Let them get their one.
The rotating doors at the end, also like 10 out of 10.
Bro, it's like when you get off the rides at like any theme park and it's like ends in the gift shop, like you fuckers, like give me a second.
Oh, you mean all of Disney World?
Other good stuff at the zoo.
Yeah, basically.
I like to go see the reptile house because I feel like the reptiles are interesting to look at. I'm not a big insect house person. I feel like the insects are avoidable. They're all kind of just
reptile house is cool. How do you feel about the primate house?
Yeah, primate and reptile house. I think are right across from each other.
Primate house,
and then you can. And then after the primate house, you can go see like the wild edge or whatever with all the antelope, and that's where the giraffe are.
You know which one I always appreciate though when you surprise run into it is the peacock when they walk around.
Oh yeah, the peacock's in that same area.
Yeah,
I love when they're just like, "Hey yo, homie, check them out."
Walk around outside. Yeah, they let a lot of the birds. A lot of the birds can just free roam.
Yeah, that's just cool. What about you, Parm?
So like. For me, Dirt's kind of described it. I have my like route that I like to do.
And, that's like my top.
The reptile house into the.
But you got to see the sea lion show.
My priority animal, sea lion show. My priority animal though is always gonna be the elephants, dude. They're just so fucking big and like when the rare times you get to see them do like shit with their trunk is just like awesome.
Y'all ever seen one of them motherfuckers
stairs at their trunk? They're big, long, big trunk.
So like that is in like the context of like the St. Louis Zoo. When I was like, I had the opportunity to go to the Atlanta Zoo, and the only thing I wanted to see, and the only pictures I have on my phone from that trip are of the panda bears.
Okay.
Like, I had to see those motherfuckers.
Ooh, the orangutans.
I was getting kind of irritated with my. Yeah.
Have you guys ever looked at the diplomacy around irritated with my girlfriend
because we were waiting
to just for the pandas.
Sorry, did you say like Kung Fu Panda has diplomacy?
That's for that. Literally the only reason I even like suggested like the zoo date was because I wanted to see the pandas. I even admitted that on the date, and she was like, "That's fine. I just want to see the flamingos anyways." And like it was great. We fed those motherfuckers. Awesome time. Atlanta Zoo kind of sucks though overall compared to the St. Louis one though. If I had to say,
St. Louis is pretty goated, honestly.
But the panda exhibit is so fucking cool, and like it's the only place you can see them in the U.S. I believe. Like
probably. So what I was gonna talk about is there's a video you guys should look up on YouTube. There's a video about like the way China controls pandas. Like China technically owns all of the pandas in the world. So like the only zoo outside of China that actually
those pandas in the ATL are on
is like 2 or 3 in Mexico, I think, for some reason. They got in through a loophole and somehow got their own pandas. But like China controls all the pandas, so it's like a big deal that like if your country's in good relations with China, they'll like bestow your zoo with pandas and like
I think I actually have heard about this. I think someone I work with told me about it from a podcast.
It's like this whole thing. Pandas are very symbolic in China. That's why like the Olympics had the pandas.
Yeah, so pandas were it for me. Like I drove like an hour and a half like to go to that zoo basically in traffic in Atlanta
pandas
traffic.
Atlanta traffic is the worst.
It was worth it was where I had to like do like a fucking 3-lane transfer for an exit that only popped up very briefly. It was crazy.
Damn.
Like, but worth every second. Even if my car got like into a fender bender, it still would have been
worth it.
Nice.
Honestly. So that was my priority. So I thought that since we were talking about animals so much, that would have been Like, yeah.
Yeah.
No, you're good.
So, is it safe to assume like favorite animal are penguins, Alec?
I don't think my favorite animal is a penguin. I don't know if I have really a favorite animal other than my dog.
Okay.
My favorite animal is the seal.
Yeah. That's a cool one.
The seal. Okay.
I don't know. Yeah. I mean, like, I think penguins are very tight. I think it's a cool like zoo spectacle. But I think maybe like if I had to like say my favorite animal, like I think that like I just enjoy watching the most is probably like different like monkeys and gibbons and shit. Like there's just different like have you guys seen those gibbons that have like the big throat bubble thing?
Oh yeah.
Like, dude, that shit's so goofy. I love that. And so yeah, I'd say that's probably
playing
up
League
there
of
for
Legends
me.
POV.
Yeah, us playing League. Our Discord.
Yeah, you just heard live comms when we play CSGO, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, that's and League and every other video game we've ever touched.
Yeah, basically.
Speaking of which, after this, you boys trying to play some game?
I'm about it.
I'm about it. Jinx, you owe me a soda.
Word. Whoa, what kind of soda do you want?
Ooh, what kind of sodas are everybody's favorites here? I'm a big
I'm usually top three. This is top three. Let's keep it.
Top three.
So wait, big distinction to make. Are we doing available anywhere, or can we do like? Because obviously I'm gonna
just top three overall. If
I can,
like if it's your favorite, if you had every soda in the world, which three would you pick?
So is Coke freestyle part of the discussion? Okay. Is that like what we're like taking it to, or is it that's a real?
You're not gonna be able to do your flavor mixes like your.
I agree. No, I agree. I agree.
Actual made flavors.
Yeah, it has to be. So it has to be bottled or canned.
Like cherry Coke counts because that's like a real thing.
Yeah, bottled or canned. Yeah.
I'm gonna say for me,
bottled or canned. Okay.
For my money, it's Dr. Pepper number 1.
Go on.
Baja Blast number 2. And then if we're gonna go specific, I'll say. It's close between Fitz's root beer and like I honestly some of the mugs and A&W's I like as well. It's really hard. I would say root beer is my.
But that's not canned or bottled though.
Yeah, it is. It absolutely.
What do you mean? A&W
like A&W mug. Those are just brand ones.
Yeah, you're talking. I thought you said floats.
Oh, sorry.
You said they're floats. So like
no, sorry. A&W and then like mug root beer. Yeah. So all
mug,
those. Like
so root beer.
Yeah. You were talking about the potential of what you can do with the soda, but respect.
Yeah. So like Dr. Pepper, Baja Blast, and root beer are my three. Okay. I think that those are.
That's fair. Okay.
I'd be fine with those three.
Cool.
Parm, you go next.
All right. So number 1, I'll probably have to go Fitz's Black Cherry. Like that, I love that shit. I will always buy that shit at the supermarket.
Okay.
It's expensive too, but I have some Fitz's root beer.
It is. Dude, you can get like 3 for $9.99. It's kind of a banger deal.
Yeah, but then you're getting a fancy boy with your bottled soda.
Yeah, you are. Yeah. You cherish it more. And then after that would be Yarritos. Like. If I'm at the gas station and they have one, I'm definitely just picking any flavor of that.
Okay. And
then number 3, this is kind of tough now. I probably would go with like Pepsi, like just straight up.
Okay,
Pepsi.
Regular Pepsi.
Like that's a classic. That is my go-to, and like obviously people say is Coke okay. Here's like cola. Just cola.
Do you think? Do you have a preference though?
I don't that much about what kind. I prefer Pepsi. I think a little bit more, especially if I can get it at like a restaurant and they have Pepsi. That slap Pepsi out of like the machine slap.
I can't agree with words that are coming out of your mouth right now.
Wait. Here's a core memory for me.
I'm very like. Here's the thing. Like the thing is, I don't care if it's Pepsi or Coke though. Like if it's only one or the other, and like
But if you have the choice,
I will pick Pepsi if I had to choose.
Okay. If you order Domino's,
if I have the choice, I'm always gonna pick Pepsi.
If you order Domino's and you get a nice cold 2-liter of Pepsi, that to me like Pepsi with pizza is like a goated combination, especially like the really cold soda fridge Pepsi you get from like a pizza place. Whereas like Coke for me is a much more versatile soda. Like I don't like I think Pepsi it's just kind of hanging out there. Like it can fill in where Coke, isn't completely perfect. But like, you whiskey Coke, nobody drinks a Pepsi and Coke.
Nobody asked for a Pepsi.
Whiskey Pepsi, yeah.
It's the thing you land on.
And no one wants one either.
I'm gonna say I had a Pepsi the other day because I took one from work after a meeting we had. Like it was in a cooler, it was ice cold. Okay, put it in my fridge, went and took a shower and had it, and I was really looking forward to it. And I took one drink, and I literally said, I don't know how people can be like, I prefer this over Coke, because Coke is just goated in the way like it tastes so consistent, and Pepsi to me feels like it can change like very easily on the way it's like dispensed, whether it's like fountain, bottle, can, just has a different feel. I don't really enjoy it that much, so it's not on my top 3.
I don't know that I've ever had fountain Pepsi. Even I'm trying to think,
it's okay. I like wild cherry better personally. Okay, I'm gonna have like 3 fucking just like I feel like the most conventional answer that's gonna be my number 1 is gonna be Baja Blast. I feel like it's like the greatest fucking soda ever made that's been widespread. It's just it's too goated, and I like niche sodas more than I like standard ones. Like I'll drink a standard soda, but I'd much rather have like a more niche one at the end of the day.
Yeah, like a wacky flavor.
The second one I'm gonna say, that I really love and I'm glad exists, because I think we've all listed a cane sugar soda at least once that we really prefer. And that's ski soda for me. I really like the Mountain Dew-esque flavor ski soda. You can get that at like
that reminds me, the Yoo-Hoo Mountain Dew with the real cane sugar.
Okay, yeah.
That's actually like a go-to.
That one's pretty good too. Yeah, they had that for a little while. I've had that before.
That was so good.
That was good. That was good. And my last one, which is one that no longer exists, but I want brought back in its exact form from the 90s, is Dr. Slice. It was a red. It was a red soda. Okay. It was like a cherry red.
And it was what about Code Red?
Code Reds? No, see, this is like this. That's like cherry citrus. This is like so. Like imagine Dr. Pepper, but with like a lot more cherry, but not like cherry Dr. Pepper where it's like artificially cherry. It's like blended.
Yeah, like that. I know what you mean.
Slice soda was like like sliced grape, sliced orange. They had this in emos and stuff back at the fountains in the day. Oh, by the way, the Suicide was the best thing ever back in the day when you just took a cup and filled every good soda in one cup.
Well, because it used to all be soda too. Like nowadays, it's all like
syrup. Yeah,
it's like iced tea and like a bunch of lemonade and a bunch of all this other stuff.
Well, it's just like those machines where it has all the syrup flavors.
True.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? True. And don't get me wrong, I love the syrup flavor stuff. I love doing like lime, like my lime Coke, lime Pepsi. If I'm like,
I'm vanilla as it goes. I'm just vanilla Dr. Pepper.
I know what you mean.
Vanilla Coke's goated also.
Like vanilla, the flavor, or just like plain?
Vanilla Coke, completely plain. I know. I don't mean vanilla. I mean completely.
No, he means vanilla. I mean
you
Coke.
Can get vanilla.
No, that's what I'm saying. He's saying vanilla Coke. I like plain Coke. I'm saying Coke with vanilla in it. I like that shit. I prefer that can shit. Ooh, a good cold can of Coke with vanilla in it is fucking amazing.
But it's also because when you're standing at that soda machine and somebody's like behind you, I always feel like I'm fucking rushed.
Have you guys heard of Pilk?
What?
Oh no!
Have you guys ever heard of Pilk?
I don't know. Was this Pepsi and milk?
Bro, my grandpa used to be the biggest Pilker on the planet.
Is this Pepsi and milk?
Like
that sounds slur adjacent.
It's Pepsi and milk.
What the fuck? What's the ratio?
Dude,
like what?
Was he deported? Was he?
That's racist, dude. Come on.
He's still kicking it. He's just an alcoholic.
For such a crime.
Oh shit.
No, he's a citizen. He's a citizen. So. Yeah, no,
I know, but you should be put in jail for such a fucking combination.
Ask me if I want one. Yeah, bro, like
you want a piping hot glass of milk?
You're saying he's alive? Can we phone him in as the first guest on the pod to find out what the ratio pour of Pepsi to milk is?
Yeah, what's the ratio?
Is it like 60-40, 35, 65, 70-30? What are we talking here?
What does this thing look like? Can I get a photo of what milk looks like?
Dude,
no, Jamie can do it in post.
Jamie, go milk some. Just go milk some.
Jamie,
bring some milk.
Like, there's a whole community based around this. Like, if you
I think we should end it now. Like, we don't need to talk about this ever.
Yeah.
All right, everyone. This is the final episode of the podcast.
All right, everybody, and that has been the 1 to 10 podcast. Thank you, everybody, for coming. Have a nice day. Bye bye.
You ready to host? Get your notes out. We got both of them posted in the chat. You just gotta be like, hello, and welcome to the 1 to 10 podcast. And then you just gotta,
welcome to licking my balls.
There you go.
Yeah, welcome to sucking my cocks with the boys.
To touching tips with the homies.
On today's episode, docking.
Is it cool or is it not? Oh, you know what? I got a good topic for us. I'll throw it in the mix whenever.